Yo, welcome to Music is a Day Job. I'm your host, Sean, and I'm also the CEO of Concert, who promotes this show. Concert is an artist accelerating app that takes artists from opener to headliner to on tour and gives the fan the best experience in independent live music. So today's topic is buying features. So everyone asks me, is buying features good? Should they buy features? However, and so I feel that it can be good, it can be bad. So I break it into different pieces. I break it into five different pieces. Independent versus national, if the artist promotes, compatibility, if you already have fans, and cost versus return. So we'll start with independent versus national. So the one thing that I always tell people is because I see people go like, well, man, I'm not gonna buy a feature from like an independent artist that's like down the street from me or whatever like that. If that artist has buzz, you guys have very similar, more than likely you guys have a similar fan base. So it's like it's the same people in the same areas. So a lot of times those can help you more because those artists have fans that are actually already near you. So that'll give you a chance to get consumers that are already near you and may support you because they support them. So inside that, that's where the independent like feature makes sense, is because you can get fan base that's immediately already near you and can come purchase merch, can come to a show, can come purchase a ticket from you. And so that is a direct situation. So when you're looking at the pricing of those, like let's say independent artists do like $100 to $1,000, mattering how big they are, you have a better chance of recouping in that aspect because that independent artist is right next to you and their fans are your consumers, they can be your consumers tonight. Now, see, the thing about a national artist is that a national artist, it matters all these other things, like if they line up for you when you do it. Now, the good thing is that everyone will say, "Man, it's a national artist." So that's the one step that it does solidify, like it does make it like verified that you kind of seem like you're popping. But the more and more people that get these songs, the less and less that actually works. So like as you see, tons of people will have tons of national features and it didn't do anything for them. However, if you already had songs that were popping, then it kind of helps. So let's break down these next ones. If the artist promotes it, and this is on both sides, you want the artist to put it up because then that kind of solidifies that it just wasn't like a money situation, or that's kind of that. And then in the other aspect, you also kind of want to go like, you want, especially in a national situation, you want them to post it because you're trying to get in front of their fans. So it doesn't really help. It kind of can help you, but you want to get in front of their fans. You want them to give you the cosign, and that's the gist of getting that, paying that much um, for that feature. Now, sometimes with independent artists, you might not have to do that as much because if they post, they're more likely gonna post it because they probably post everything that they do. So it's like you have a better shot with a local artist or independent artist to get them to post it versus a national artist, because a national artist sometimes other people control their social medias and what they can post or whatever, so they won't do it sometimes. But that's why you got to make sure, if you're gonna buy it, you got to make sure they're gonna be willing to post it, because that's what you want the fans to see, is that you get that cosign, and that's what that is. Compatibility. Some of y'all just be doing features with just anybody for the sake of doing the feature, like, and I've even like I've done it myself, like in my situation, like I had a person that got the feature and bought the feature over here to me, but inside of it, it's like, why would I ever feature with this person? Like, my music sounds nothing like this, and it's no compatibility. So then, inside understanding where the compatibility is, you want their consumers from that feature, or you want to make your consumers excited. If it doesn't sound like anything that your consumers already like from you, then that's a waste of a feature, because they don't want to hear this person, more than likely because they might not be a fan of that person. On the other end, if you're trying to get their fans more than likely don't listen to you. So then it doesn't really make sense. The compatibility doesn't make sense. So I see like random people just get a feature just because the dude's in town. You see people, everybody selling features online and everything. Like, man, make sure you go get a feature from this dude. And then you're like, everyone does it because it's you might get a discount, or this is your first feature that you could possibly get, but that doesn't mean you should get it, because that doesn't mean you guys have anything in common, which is just a waste. That then becomes a waste of money. If you already have fans, of course, that's one of the main things that I always tell people, like, you should have fans when you get features, because then you can kind of see how your consumers respond to it. That can be an excitement for your consumers, because then they see that you're really moving how you need to move. So that might bring them more interest to even pass on songs and get you more fans. On the other hand, if you don't have any consumers champion you, it's kind of like you're just hoping that you get the consumers from that person. And if it's a national artist, it's going to be very hard, because more than likely they're just going to listen to it for the national artist. If it's an independent artist, then you have the chance to get some consumers because you're probably in the same area. You can do shows together. You can be around. And so that's one of the main things. Make sure you have fans before you start purchasing everything. The cost versus return, which is on all this. I always say there's tons of ways to make money back from a feature. And that's if you can do all the other stuff correctly. Like, if you compatible, everything works good, then you're going to see your fans get excited and they're going to purchase more things. So then you're looking at creating merch around, you want to create merch around, like, maybe the song. Let's say the song was called Brand New Whip or something like that, and you got the brand new whip on the shirt or something, whatever. That's just whatever. But like, you want to have merch to make people go like, yo, this is that song with so and so and so and so, like, and that can get you that buzz where you need it to sell merch or to even get sponsors. Like, I told one of the artists that we talked about this. I told him, look at the sponsors did. Like, if I'm gonna drop a video, let's say, even if I don't get the national, like, if you have a national feature and you're like, I'm going to drop this video and I know this national pulls this many views, whatever, on my views, on my when I go to a sponsor, I'm like, this is the amount of impressions this is going to get, especially if I know they're going to repost it. So if I shoot the video with or without the person, then I'm saying, hey, this many impressions because this artist is this big. I'm going to get a sponsor and being like, yo, like, I'm about to drop this video. I can put your product in it or whatnot. And then if I'm doing that, then they get this many impressions from me putting the product in there. So now, like, let's say the feature was like $2, $3, $4 whatever like that. I get a sponsor be like, yo, $1,000, $500, $1,000 for a sponsorship for the product to be in the video. And then I'm going to promote the product with all the stuff I'm going to be pushing. Then I can make some money back on that feature directly. And then I can start making sure that cost and return makes sense for me. So then I'm doing that. Then I might have a show around it, the drop of the song, everything like that. So then I'm doing everything I can to figure out how to boost more excitement. Now that's why this comes with you having fans, because if you already have fans and they know they already excited for this song to drop, and then you got a feature with so and so and they're like, oh, it's about to be crazy, then I'm putting everything around it. I'm putting the show around it, because I'm going like, yo, I'm gonna do another show because I'm about to drop this song. And then people are excited to come out and see you again, because they're kind of like, oh, he got that new song with so and so, that's crazy, you know what I'm saying? So that's how you want to play it, so you can know that the cost and return makes sense for you to do it, because none of us have just money that we can just throw away to be like, yo, I can just throw 20, 30,000 away just to see what happens. Like, so you want to think this out before you get a feature. You want to see if the compatibility is there. You want to see if you already have fans that are interested in this feature. You want to see if the artist is willing to promote it. You want to see if it makes more sense for you to go to independent or the national route. Because see, the other thing is, when you do those shows and you do that cost versus the return you can get from it, the independent artist more likely can show up to the show and perform with you. So now if that person is like kind of popping in the area and you have your show, that's your special guest. That's like when Drake brings out Meek or whatever like that. You're building that same feeling for your fans, because they're gonna be like, oh, he came over here to rock with him. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you want to do. That's how you want to build that up. You want to make sure that feature makes sense for you buying that feature, because some people just buy it because it's a national artist or whatever, or like everyone's talking about it. But make sure all these pieces match. Make sure all these pieces match so you can get your bang for your buck of what you needed. Just don't do it just because you want to make music with another person. Just, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause you can make music with anybody, but make it make sense for you business wise. And that's when the features make sense.